Well, let's get into some PlayStation VR2 news. I'm going to move it to here because there is a lot of titles on the way to PSVR2. They are announcing coming soon 5 big titles. Are you excited for any of these in particular? None of these I have heard specifically of other than Arizona Sunshine. But hey, more VR2 content is great for the platform. Wander, what the heck? It's just like people with super soakers.
There was a lot announced. This was all done on the first year anniversary of PlayStation VR2. So on the 22nd of February last week, I think it was the day after our show, PSVR2 turned 1. It's been out for a whole year now, and this was sort of a celebration. Here's a slew of new games coming your way, along with some that we had releasing on that day in between times. There's a lot of different types of game going on here. So Little Cities is a god game, kind of like City Skylines, but you are manipulating the city with your own hands. You can get down to street level. You can do it as a god game from above and just draw on roads and such. It's a really interesting take upon that. There's a couple of other ones. I think there's one in this series that's on the store already called Little Towns VR, which is a great fun experience. I like it's being built up into like cityscapes. There's also things like Prison Boss on there. So it's in that sort of genre of the god game where you are overlooking everything, looking down. That looks great. You've then got a zombie something VR, and as you said, Arizona Sunshine. Both are zombie shooters. They're dime a dozen on VR platforms. If you go look at, say, PC VR or the Meta Quest store, you've got so many zombie shooters that they're one of the easiest things to make that will work generally well on VR. So if people like those, that's great. They've got to do something special to beat out the likes of the ones that are already on there, because there are
like
fantastic
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is one of them. There's another one whose name I forget. They're not for me personally, but yeah, you got one with super soakers and a Tommy gun and all this sort of stuff. It's cool to have more games coming to PlayStation VR2. I wish there were more big first-party titles really taking advantage of the system. But saying that, everything that I have played, even Beat the Beats, which released yesterday, is fantastic. It takes advantage of the headset rumble, of the Sense haptic controllers. It's not just a port from PC or something. It's been built with the PSVR2 in mind, and even if we just get a bunch of third-party support for VR2 moving forward, as long as it takes that sort of route where it utilizes the VR2's powerhouse systems and what have you, I'm all for it. Right, these were good. It was a nice little sort of birthday gift to PSVR2 adopters and anybody looking to get into it.
Yeah, the VR space definitely needs, what I think it needed was a Half-Life Alyx. It needed what you were saying, that heavy-hitting, big experience that needed to bring everybody in. If they had created something like Call of the Mountain, but made it even more grandeur in its presence, in its game content, then I think that would have been something to bring something in, maybe a SOCOM in VR2. I just think maybe bringing one of their big IPs and creating a full fleshed out story would have secured more people on the title. But hey, we're still yet to see. They still got time to do it. Oh my God, people be throwing up.
They might be throwing up, but give me a Spider-Man game where I can swing through the city. I don't even need to do anything. I don't need to save people, don't need to fight Electro or whatever the case may be. Just let me swing through the city and you've got a mega hit on your hands. I can guarantee that one.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. People want to swing through the cities. Hey, cool to see. Like you said, a nice little birthday present for PSVR2 users. You got a bunch more content for you to play with. And speaking of more content for PSVR2 users, I believe we may have touched on this last week, but just reminding everyone, PSVR2 support is going to be coming to PC later this year. So that is awesome to see. Even more PSVR2 users.
Oh, why? Why did you have to go there? PC VR is great, and the PSVR 2 is one of the most, bang for buck, it's one of the best on the planet if it could be used in more places than just PlayStation 5. With Sony testing the PSVR 2 for PC VR, that is a mega deal. Things like your HTC Vive Pro 2s, they're still wired headsets to get the best experience out of them. They can do wireless, but you lose graphic fidelity, you lose the eye tracking and a bunch of other stuff when you do that. So you're comparing this against £1,000 plus headsets, and this costs under 600 with a game. And you can use it on 2 platforms, so if you can use it on PSVR or you can use it on PC VR, I think it's going to be really good for the headset because it will sell in multiple different ways to multiple different people. And if they've got it, they might as well plug it into the PlayStation 5 and buy some games on there as well. I think it's a great move. I think it's going to do great for the hardware. I think it's going to do great for the software, because if you've got support for this software on the PC side of things as well, where there are more VR players, they may as well just make the one game and release it on both platforms and take advantage of what the PSVR 2 can do with its haptics, with its feedback, with its eye tracking and foveated rendering and all that. I think this is going to be a very good move, and it could be a bit of a catalyst for PlayStation VR. I hope it's a catalyst for PlayStation VR.
Right, because as you were saying, for dollar, when compared to other PC gaming headsets, it does perform well for the dollar amount. So hopefully it'll become an option for a lot of those enthusiasts. Great to see, and I need more space in my house to play VR.
Yeah, rooms are a problem. When I can touch like both walls here,
yeah,
gotta find a space.